Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 118 of the Alter Ego podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day.
Yes.
And nobody had to actually labor. But
I went and labored in the yard.
I watched the dogs.
My little daffodil over here. Not my chinchilla.
Not your
Certainly
chinchilla
not.
Today.
Washed both the dogs, which is no easy task for somebody who's not pregnant.
We'll probably do a little bit of folding of laundry later.
Probably.
you guys are responsible. You fold it and put it away?
No.
Well, that's the
No.
problem. We're like 6.5 months deep in laundry that hasn't put away.
Everybody has that BBEG of laundry sitting in a room.
BBEG.
Big bad end game.
Oh, yes.
That's just sitting there, and you know your favorite shirt is sitting somewhere in the middle, and you'd rather dive through and grab it than take things out and properly fold them.
Well, the problem is, too, is like I don't fit in 90% of the clothes that I own, so they have just lived and died in that pile. So I think a lot of that is just going to need to be folded and just put somewhere. So
but because it's all clean, right?
Yeah.
It's just sitting in a big clean pile. And I'm not too worried about wrinkles because I'm a guy and I use Ford Supply Company. Offers of curated line craft soaps and beard care, handmade in the USA. Offering scents like coffee and cream, coconut, citrus, cedarwood, and many more. Check out the full line of craft soap bars, beard oil, and beard balm online at FordSupply.com. Free U.S. shipping on all orders over $35 and get an additional 10% off with the promo code Alter Ego. Ford Soap, real soap.
No bullshit.
I wonder if we're getting Carver back this year.
We should be.
We're out of it.
That's the old
the pumpkin
scent.
Yes.
It actually is quite the banger.
It's my favorite, and I saved a bar for this year, and then, like, March hit.
And you used it.
I used it. I was trying. I was trying.
Oh, noticeably absent because you haven't heard him scream into the microphone yet. No Nello this week. He thought fantasy football was more important than you beautiful people.
Well.
But here we are.
Yeah,
we're here.
He may not be wrong.
Yeah. You know, we'll see. Tony and Nello's. Go eat their food.
Yeah.
It's good.
We'll be there this weekend for our anniversary.
Yes, we will. Our 6th anniversary, which is insane.
6th wedding anniversary.
Having been married to this person for 6 years is longer than any other relationship I've ever been in. So, wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Luck of the draw.
Well, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. See, for me, it's always weird for mine. Like, I think I've only been married to my wife, it'll be 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the springish, right?
We were there.
Yeah. But we've been together for 14 years.
Yeah.
So it's like wedding anniversaries don't even still haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you know, it's crazy. And one of these days we'll look back and say, hey, we've had, you know, the MCU for 20 years. Isn't that insane?
Yeah. It has been 20 years, hasn't it? 2012?
It's been a long dang
Oh, wait,
time.
no, that's 10 years ago. Sorry. Huh.
Yeah. Speaking of losers, let's start with DC, shall we? Not that the people at DC are losers or their comic books
sure they're
losers,
not?
but right now they are not winning.
Jury's out.
So they have a couple of franchises that work, right? Like they had Man of Steel, that was good. Then they had Aquaman, which everybody knows I'm a big fan of the Aquaman movie. The actor Via Abdul Mateen, who plays Black Manta in that movie, was quoted earlier in the week saying that comic book movies are clown work for actors.
Wow. Okay.
I bet you that check still cash though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then why aren't you doing something else there, buddy?
Yeah. Why are you playing a lesser known DC villain then if it's such clown work?
And for DC, I don't even know who that guy is.
He played Candyman in the remake. That's all I can think of him from though.
Still don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Candyman is.
Wow. Unreal.
Clive Barker?
Sorry.
Come on.
Nope. No idea.
Anyway.
I don't know enough about
I just
DC.
was surprised to hear that. Like, what, to me, like, art is art is art is art is art. Whether you interpret it as lesser or more is really your own prerogative. But to call it clown work?
Does this guy hang out with Scorsese?
Clearly not, because he's still doing DC movies.
Bunch of haters over there.
I mean, I don't get that. I don't get why you would openly like say that this work you're trying to put your heart and soul into is like beneath you. It's easy. It's clown work. What?
Especially when the MCU's like movies have all set records and sold billions.
I mean, let's of all the movies that are out there, how many of Marvel are in like the top 25?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's a lot.
And people who know nothing about comic books or really even care about that, but a lot of them have seen a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like you'd be hard pressed to find one person who's never seen some type of Marvel movie.
And the only, and how do you know if somebody's never seen a Marvel movie? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But like the only movie right now that's coming out and beating the brakes off of everybody is Top Gun Maverick, $1.4 billion at this point. But like, that's an all cult classic too, and it's fighter jets. Like people love that.
Yeah,
and it's Tom Cruise. For some reason, people still love Tom Cruise. I don't not love him. He's just kind of okay. Tom Cruise, cool.
I love the Mission Impossibles, but
I mean,
my favorite of him is Les Grossman. That's his best role he's ever done.
Who's that?
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We don't negotiate
Apple
with
bottom
terrorists.
jeans.
No.
Do me a favor.
It wasn't
I
until
want you to take a step back and literally fuck your own face.
it wasn't until the very end of that movie that I'm sitting there with my wife. I'm like, wait, is that Tom Cruise? And she's like, yeah, you didn't know that? I'm like, no, I did not.
I think Jerry Maguire's probably mine.
Yeah, that's a really good one for him.
I didn't even realize that RDJ was the black guy until I read the credits. Like, I didn't realize he was a white guy in blackface. You did a good job there, Iron Man. A good job. You fooled me.
They asked Jamie Foxx about that, by the way, about like because why is it okay for Robert Downey Jr. to do blackface? And he was like, because the black community loves Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, we don't care.
Yeah, I heard he tried to get him to play a Mexican for
He
something.
did.
And he was like,
Which
no,
I would pay
not
so
now.
much money to see that.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I bet you he would be the funniest Mexican character you've ever seen.
Yep, but unfortunately, people get all in their feelings, so it'll not
But that's
happen.
that's part of what made it so funny is that he's clearly a white guy.
Right. That's what
Like-
exactly.
And like a really, really white guy. Like they show him
Australian with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah. So it's like that's part of the comedy of the movie is that he was so polar opposite.
And he wasn't able to break character. Like even when he's speaking Vietnamese to them, he's doing it in the same accent. What chi nu Kate?
He's so good.
He's just, I don't know. It was just perfect.
Yeah, he did such a good job. He's really
Wintini, Wingini.
he was the best part about that movie for sure.
Jack Black.
Jack Black was awesome too.
Hey man, if you untie me. Anyway, we're not getting into that one.
No.
Oh boy. So more good news for DC. They're we'll segue this, right? Disney D23 next week, September 9th, 10th, and 11th of 2022. However, DC Fandom 2022 has just been canceled.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, what do they have to show?
Right. We talked about it last week, how they were only doing 3 movies. Now, somebody corrected me. It's not 3 movies the entire year because obviously The Batman released 6 months ago. So they've done another movie. But other than that, it's just Black Adam, Don't Worry, Darling, and House Party. So, and you can't do Fandom.
Like Kid and Play House Party?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is DC doing Kid and Play?
It's not DC. It's Warner Brothers
Warner
who
Brothers.
owns
Okay.
DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
There's more actually about Warner Brothers later on in the news and stuff, but we'll get to that.
And out of all the movies, Kid and Play,
Yeah.
it's not the greatest of all movies. No.
It's really not, but a remake. I bet you there's just a lot older guys in Hollywood that loved that movie and they wanted to get it done and they wanted to do a modernized version of House Party and just like crank it up to 11. Like I imagine they're seeing Superbad in their mind and thinking that they're going to recreate that.
No, what happened was one guy finally learned how to do a little stupid dance, and he's like, I gotta bust this out. Let's just redo a House Party. And that's the only way it's going to happen.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. But, luckily, that's all we have for DC. Is that
luckily
one of their actors is disrespecting the role he's in, and DC fandom, their big titular event of the year, is canceled.
I just want Chris Pratt or somebody to go up there and just slap the shit out of him and be like, keep Marvel's name out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, Will Smith was Deadshot. He could still do it himself.
There it goes. I think he's done slapping people for a little while, though.
I think he is on the definite image rectification route now. Yeah. I had one of those triggered ads to me the other day that was like, you want to make your profile image like Will Smith? Let me show you this app. I want to do it just like Will Smith. And here's this, and now look, I look just like Will Smith. I was like, oh, really heavy-handed with the Will Smith here.
Yeah.
Apparently he's paying apps to try to get people to want to look like him and forget that he slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth. We will not be forgetting that anytime ever.
No.
I mean, hey, if Chris can move on, we all can, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they come out and ask him to host the Oscars too?
Who?
Chris.
Will Smith?
No.
I was about to say, I think he's banned.
Chris.
He was the one who was hosting when he got slapped.
Yeah.
I thought that there was something else that he was recently asked to host, whether maybe it was Oscars again.
Huh. No, I don't know.
I
mean, the Oscars are clearly have nothing with Chris Rock. They're not going to have him not come back.
I mean, if I was him, I'd have security up there now. Two big dudes standing next to me.
Even if it was for fun, but for real.
Yeah.
I just remember them showing immediately after he slapped Chris, they showed The Rock. And I was like, he ain't going to slap him. Rock could come up there and say anything he wants, and Will's not going up there to slap him.
Shit, I'd walk up there and slap the shit out of The Rock.
I know you would,
Just
because
so
you'd
that
make
he
tabloids. You would. You'd be
just because I think you're big, bro, and you ain't got hands.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
You don't think The Rock has hands?
Nah.
I think he's got decent enough hands to handle guys like us.
He's got muscles behind the hands.
Not to mention,
That's
he's got the muscles. So
he can have baby hands, but look at his arms.
Unless your head movement game is level 9,000, it's going to be level 9,000 whether you're moving it or he's moving it.
Yeah, I think I could take him.
Hey, man, I got all the faith in the world in you. I'm not coming up there to back you up unless it's justified. Unless he says something about our collective family, I'm not behind you.
So you're not going to come in and just tag me on the back and get the tag in and we could just go to town on him?
I'll certainly go for a hot tag any day of the week. By the way, I watched AEW last night for the first time, the pay-per-view. It's pretty good. Now, the wrestling is not quite as polished as, say, WWE, but it was good. It was very entertaining, and my favorite current wrestler actually came back.
Who's
Mr. MJF. He's a heel wrestler, and my wife knows I have a huge affinity for the heels. And this dude is one of the best heels I've ever seen in his young career. Nice. He went out on a, how CM Punk had the pipe bomb?
No, I'll pretend I do.
It was in the middle of a John Cena match. He came out there, sat Indian style with a microphone, and just started talking trash about everything and everybody. Until eventually he started talking about Triple H, and they cut his mic. Now, this guy went after the owner of AEW and eventually said, and pardon my French, fire me, you fucking Mark. You don't have the balls to come out here and do X, Y, Z.
Boy.
And I was like, oh my, this is on AEW Live?
Does he come out there and hit him with the old McMahon and be like, kiss my ass?
No, Tony
you're
Khan.
fired.
I remember that when he had that whole infatuation of people kissing his butt.
Yep.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, let's move on. But AEW was good.
Next time The Rock's on stage, though, I'm slapping him, and then I'm just going to turn and be like, Jack, get the tables.
I'm actually going to already be on top of the ladder, like standing up, getting ready for the leg drop.
And I'll just try to lift up one of his legs and try to definitely drop him through it.
We got this.
Wow.
We do.
So I want to talk about, there's one thing for video games, but I think it's kind of important, right? Like I I think the landscape of video games has changed so drastically since we were young lads.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about that a lot.
They are starting to have Xbox Game Pass expanded to friends and family. Now, Game Pass already encompasses your live subscription, and now you get access to all the free games and some paid games that they want you to preview and play. Now, if I read it correctly, they are sort of following the Nintendo Switch model, where if you get the friends and family plan, you get up to 4 people. I think it's 4 or 5 that get to go on your Xbox Live. They get to use Live. They get Xbox Game Pass, which means they have access to all the games on Game Pass. They can download and play them online. And it only goes, because if you have Game Pass right now, it's $14.99. It goes, I think, this is a rumor, I don't have confirmation, but it's going up to $20. $5 extra for 4 more people to get all those benefits?
Do they have to be logged into your account, though? Like, how does that work?
No, they log into their own account. You just have them listed under your family plan.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That is.
So I'm like, $5 extra.
$5 is a lot. I would have thought maybe like 3, like, because average household has 2 kids.
Right. Well, that's the immediately the thing that I thought about was kids, playing with your friends. Like, let's say, it's always that thing way back when it's like, hey, I got this game. It's on Game Pass. You should play it. I can't, bro. I'm sorry. I don't have XYZ. And then I say, okay, it's $20. You give me $5 a month and you're covered. Now you're playing with your friends. And so I was looking at that and I was like, that's a brilliant model, man.
It is.
It's no longer about locking out the experience.
They're also probably using that, like, beta testing new games that are coming out as a draw for themselves.
Big time.
Because if they get people that are using Game Pass for free on somebody else's account, and they're testing those games, then they might have a better chance of selling more.
Well, you get Xbox Live, period. So you'll already have access to all the games if you want to buy them or whatever. So you're absolutely right. In that scenario.
And it gives them Live, too? It doesn't just give them Game Pass access?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So now they can play live service games, which is where I think the big draw is. Because now the thing has gone away from buying your $60 game. They're more inclined to give you a free game and make all those microtransactions, which to me, fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Because at that point, it's on me if I want to run that same skin and just keep playing the game and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, Xbox, with it having such a limited library to begin with, now branching out, a lot of people can play a lot of different things, and no one plays just one thing anymore. Like me and you, we only play very few things. Mm-hmm. So now with that Game Pass, play this. Okay. Like
it's free. I can go download it right now.
Yeah, like I have my brother who owns an Xbox, but he's always super busy, so he doesn't actually, I don't think he actually has Live or Game Pass or anything. I can be like, hey, bro, I got it. You're underneath it. Let's play this whenever you get a chance one day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where it works.
And that's
Brings
how you
more
get them
people
hooked.
to the platform.
And I think it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. It's something that if you're a parent, you might want to monitor that really, really closely, letting your kids on to play. But, it's kind of insane.
Yeah, because it's the reason I don't really touch my PlayStation is because I'd love to play with other people, but I'm not paying another $60 for a year just to play PlayStation.
Yeah,
and then I have to still buy games on top of it. Like if all the games came just like this, like where they were all their exclusives were included, I'd actually probably do it.
Yeah,
and just run dual. So whenever I did play it, I played it, but without it, it just. PlayStation doesn't make sense for me to spend $60 and turn that on when I've got Xbox that I've been running for the last 19 years,
Well, I mean, it's just the building of the community and getting people on the platform. That's the big challenge.
Yep.
Now they've got the machine. Now I've got to pay this per month. Oh my God. And then Xbox is like, this is kind of stupid. We want them online. Yeah. So why are we paywalling people getting online? So now they're incentivizing you, right?
Yep.
So if you do the Game Pass for $14.99, you get literally, I think it's like 100-something games that are on there right now.
Yeah, more than that, I think.
And a lot of brand new games are coming out day one to Game Pass.
And Xbox, all their exclusives, done, free.
Yeah. Here, come play Game Pass. It's yours.
Yep.
That's the thing now is like we look at that kind of stuff around Christmas time. We don't have to go buy a bunch of games for them. We can say, hey, guess what? We got you live. You're on. You can play. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're monitoring the behavior and the stuff that's going on, hey, good for you.
Yeah, they've been asking about Fortnite for forever.
I know, and they're getting ready to get that privilege. So
nice.
We'll see. But
you gonna hook up with some V-Bucks too?
No, absolutely not. V-Bucks can be paid for out of their own account.
I also don't think they will be getting headsets or anything like that anytime soon.
Which you don't need.
No. Yeah.
Which you don't need. If they got a headset, they
people's asses silently.
But it's so much more fun when you can talk shit.
That's fine.
Pwn your asses.
When they're 16, they can do that. But
oh my word,
that's why this generation's so soft. They never grew up in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby.
No.
You know?
Where you're in that lobby and all of a sudden everybody's talking and you're just like...
I'd like to say that would thicken their skin, but I feel like it would probably not.
I had the fast fingers, boy. As soon as people started talking in any lobby, I'm muting the entire lobby.
Really?
Yeah. I don't talk to a single person. Nope. I mute everyone. I'm like, can I just turn off the chat feature, period?
Yeah, you just sit there and talk to the people you know and that are playing with. And even then sometimes you're like, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I had two friends invite me to a party earlier, and I just messaged them on the side. I was like, nah, I'm not playing. I'm just going to stay doing what I'm doing.
I was also napping, so you screaming 2 feet from me. I passed out on the couch.
It's usually a loud F word.
Yeah.
When I get caught out of position, and then I'm just like realizing I have a sleeping pregnant woman next to me. Anyway, let's move on to TV and movies. Shall we? Yes. My favorite little cartoon that came out recently, we did an episode on it and I loved it. Arcane. It won an Emmy, boys. It's the first ever streaming service to win an Emmy award.
Streaming service or streaming
to win an Emmy
show?
Yeah, show. To win an Emmy. Okay, let me narrow this down. First ever animated series to win an Emmy was Arcane, and they won it for Outstanding Animated Program, which it was.
That's dope.
It was excellent.
I still have not gone back to finish watching it, and I want to.
You're missing out.
I just don't have the time.
It's so good. It's so good. Speaking of so good, it's in here somewhere. We started Rings of Power.
Yes.
And so let me say this: if you're a big fan of the fantasy genre, and Game of Thrones ain't for you, it's too violent, it's too crazy, I cannot recommend Rings of Power enough. The first 2 episodes were absolutely awesome.
And we'll get into it more once we get to that episode, because we will end up doing an episode on it.
Is this animated?
No.
Live action.
But I've seen a lot of conflicting opinions in
regards
to this is the Lord of Rings? Yep. Okay.
Because there's a lot of people are used to what they have, and they're used to their books, and they don't like lore being expanded. There are people out there who are still upset that they're using people of color for certain roles.
So stupid.
Which I'm like, are we done? Can I get off?
Yeah. This train is stupid.
But it's review bombing and trolls.
Yeah,
and stuff
it's
like
literally
that.
all that it is.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far.
I've loved it. I thought it was.
I have nothing ill to say.
Well, I'm a big fan of the mythological race of dwarves, and they're introduced in episode 2.
You've done so well. But everybody's like, "Oh, Tolkien would be rolling over in his grave." Okay.
Tolkien would also be rolling over in his grave at the fact that there's a movie on TV that you can stream from the internet.
Yes.
Hold on, did Tolkien invent dwarves?
No.
All right then.
No, he didn't.
Exactly.
But does
it's not
have.
Even, it's also saying that there's a lot of like demasculated men in it. That like the women are kind of much more powerful, and I'm like, that's fine. What the fuck is wrong with that?
Well,
Excuse my language.
The titular characters.
She's super brave,
but not titular really. She's the main character, Galadriel, who's in the other series.
She's awesome.
Sounds like a made up name,
but all names are made up. But she was she was already meant to be a super important character in Lord of the Rings, in The Hobbit. So why would she not be important in this one?
I haven't seen any like super weak men either.
I haven't either.
Like, I didn't really understand that, but that was one of the big arguments that I've seen more than once, is that they were like, oh, these men are all pussies.
It's the same thing with She-Hulk. It's a lot of guys who are getting their feelings hurt over the fact that women are having powerful roles.
I always try to I don't want to say it like this, but I always try to remember my place as a woman,
As you
I
should.
see it like
Yep.
that. I'm like, oh, she's awesome. And then I don't think about what our generational past has been in movies and shows, and how
For
we've
sure.
had the men barbarians and the women making babies and cooking on
In
the
the
side.
kitchen making sandwiches
Right.
like you're supposed to be.
Truly,
you know?
it's like I don't think of it that way. I'm just like, man, this show is dope as shit.
Well,
and then there's men out there. These men are pussies, and I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay.
the first time I saw something like that, well, obviously we've got a little baby girl in the way, so I've started to really kind of take a look at some of these female leaders and powerful people that I'd
Yeah.
like for her to look at, both in real life and in our
Fantasy
fantasy
world.
and our media, and say, who would I want my daughter looking up to? And it reminds me of when we redid our boys' room many moons ago, a couple different houses ago. We surprised them with bunk beds, and we
You've
put
told this
all
story
these
a couple
decals
times.
all over here, and it's always, oh, here, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Hulk, Captain America, the girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. Well, I mean, now that's changing.
Yeah, it's changing a lot.
So to combat trolls and stuff like that, though, Amazon is implementing a 72-hour review delay. I don't know if that's going to help, right? Like, do they think that people are just going to get bored after 3 days and say, I'm not going to review it anymore?
So what? They're just like locking it down so that people can't leave reviews on the show.
Yeah.
They're allowing them to process it and maybe get a chance to watch it once or twice more before they blast their stupid opinions all over the place.
I don't know what the time difference is going to do.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why people put so much salt into reviews anymore either.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's one
Like-
thing. If you don't like it, fine. If you don't like it, you have a problem with it, it is what it is. But like, why do you have to? It's like you said, art is art is art is art. It doesn't have to be art to you, but it's art to somebody, and probably a lot of people, because The Lord of the Rings is a big deal and has been for a really long time. So a lot of people are going to love it. Why do you have to be a dick about it? Just move on and stop watching it if you don't like it. You don't have to blast it. It's like purchasing something on Amazon. It just wasn't as good as you thought it was going to be. And then you feel the need to blast the person who made it because you're a jerk.
Yeah, the maker, the company, Amazon
for selling it. Like,
over
it's
your
just
mild inconvenience.
I mean, like I said, I said it and kind of take it back. Your dumb opinions if you don't like it. That's not really the way that I feel about it. If you don't like it, that's fine. But having to blast it out there to ruin somebody's hard work on something is just silly.
It's not the opinion; it's the malice behind it and the way that opinion is delivered.
Now, I know we come on here too. So, I mean, we go on our podcast and we say all the things that we want. And we talk trash about shit that we don't like. So it is what it is. But we also...
I'm also not going out here and telling people don't go watch anything except for Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, that movie was trash.
Sorry. Yeah. No, go watch it so you know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm big on product reviews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I don't buy anything.
Honest. If it's not good, it's not good.
Yeah,
And
I don't
that's
buy
okay.
anything that I don't look at a review usually these days anymore.
But that's different than what we're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like, that's
very
completely different.
different. It's very
But you're
different.
absolutely right. But when you go in and you say, "Oh, I need this power drill," and it's like it says it's got a battery life of 36 hours, it only lasted for 5.
Right.
That's not a review bomb. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Something
Yeah.
that they dealt with.
It
I
is-
get you though.
It was kind of a terrible comparison, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. But like art, yeah, I don't care. Some people hate some of my favorite movies. I'm sure Mean Girls might have a low rating, but guess what? It's the best fucking movie that exists.
But exactly,
It's not
it's
wrong.
like-
It's so good. So good.
right? And it's like I said, everybody has their own opinions, and they have every right to them.
Yeah.
The little things that it's more so, and I'm arguing this point so much for this particular show so far, because it's the things that I've seen people bitching about that I'm just like, that is so menial and silly. It's not even like the CGI was terrible or like the acting was awful. Like, it's not stuff that like literally makes the whole product what it is. It's like casting choices and like men not being strong enough. Like,
before they even have an opportunity.
Right. These characters are just developing, first of all.
Everybody also reviews a show like it was made just for them.
Yes.
But anyway, let's move on from the
Sorry.
review bombing stuff. No, it's okay. We're all doing it.
We just watched the second episode, so I'm a little fired up right now.
Is the whole thing out, or is it a
No.
weekly thing?
It's a weekly,
every
just
Friday.
2
It's
so
Amazon,
far.
like The Boys. So, Legendary Films. You may be asking who Legendary Films is. They've made movies like Dune.
Production company,
recently, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They have Fresh on Hulu with Timothy Olyphant and Drew Barrymore. They did Detective Pikachu, Skyscraper. I mean, there's a
World.
bunch of movies. Jurassic World. Legendary does a lot of stuff straight out of Compton. Yeah. They've done a lot of stuff. The Hangover, Man of
Superman.
Steel.
Wow.
Yeah, so they've done a lot. They are officially leaving Warner Brothers. They're
Good
done.
for them.
Because Warner Brothers is obviously being run into the ground. Somebody let the Animaniacs out and never got them back. But they're expected to strike a deal with Sony or Paramount to continue making some of their movies.
I'd love to see him go to Paramount.
Yeah, me
Hopefully
too.
catch him go to
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paramount has
That'd be
done,
great. Because
yep.
that would be a big jump for Paramount Plus. And I think Paramount has more money than I'd say Sony would have.
Yeah.
When it comes to that industry and how much they're willing to develop. We've seen what they've done, Sony, in terms of movies. So
It ain't great.
last thing, TV movies before we take a break. There is a casting rumor, not announced yet, but a casting rumor for who's going to join Game of Thrones House of the Dragon Season 2. And it's somebody we're all very familiar with.
Yes.
Miss Elizabeth Olsen is supposed
Scarlet
to be
Witch.
joining that TV franchise.
That would be pretty incredible because aside from, and correct me if I'm wrong, but even in just like regular Game of Thrones, aside from Tyrion, I guess, Jason Momoa is like the biggest known name in that series.
I'd say
today.
Jon Snow is probably just as big.
But I get what
Is
she's
he,
saying. She
though?
wasn't before.
He
him.
wasn't
Sure.
before,
Yeah.
but as far as like who we've got now, he is definitely the largest name probably in,
One
aside
of the biggest
from
ones. Okay, so
Just to be-
not made from
no,
show.
no,
You mean
no.
big personalities
right.
that
So
join.
like now that we're moving on and we're years past the Game of Thrones initiation and all that, and we're like looking back on what they've done,
Yeah.
and now they're creating a whole new show. It's like this would be probably the largest name going into this show right now.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, no doubt.
Actually, why I started watching Game of Thrones because Jason Momoa's in it. Okay, I'll watch
Right.
this.
And then he was dead.
He dies in the. I'm like, what the hell?
I know. Was I not super depressed? I was like, oh.
I wouldn't say depressed, but
I
definitely
was upset.
disappointed.
was upset.
Because Amelia Clark had
I'm
not in
upset.
any way come into her own
No.
at that time. She wasn't like, she wasn't really knocking it out of the park. at
And
that
I
point.
loved their
What are you talking
their
about? She kept taking her
dynamic.
clothes off. Let's go.
Wow.
She's
So
the
I
worst.
think she is going to play Missandei, who was the lady in the red, who was the Lord of Light.
That would be so cool.
I think she's going to be a prequel of that.
She would be a really good.
Somebody showed
So
her.
she's basically
in
going
a-
to be the Scarlet Witch in olden times.
Sure, why not?
that's
That
what I was gonna
actually
say.
would be pretty funny.
That's what I was going to say. All
Parallel
right.
universe.
So let's take our first break of the day, and then we're going to get into some of this juicy Marvel stuff
Oh
that
my
happened
gosh.
this week
I just had an
before D23. So, Epiphany?
Yeah,
We got
'cause
time
you
for
just
one
said
of those.
that.
Let's hear it.
You're gonna block me. Don't do that.
I'm
Don't
not.
stop it.
Let's hear it.
So when Elizabeth Olsen, what if it is an alternate universe and somehow the MCU and the world that Game of Thrones in is? You can stop it. This is
All right, I got to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Episode 118.
It was great.
We're done.
We'll be back.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're very sorry Megan will not be joining us for the rest of the show due to her really weird theories.
Hold on. How is she going to have time to do this?
Spoiler alert. Yes,
Shouldn't
she
she
is.
be too busy making other movies to be on some Game of Thrones
That's
stuff?
one of the things that I thought. I wonder how those schedules line up. Do they not need her for a while?
I think they don't need her for a while
I
because
think-
everybody's going to think that she's actually dead.
I think they don't need her until Doctor Doom shows up, and I have a Doctor Doom theory. But anyway, let's go. Let's get into it.
Get into it.
So we talked about a little bit earlier that we are expecting currently, and I would like everyone to respect our privacy when baby Thanos gets here.
No.
Nice.
No.
And when baby Thanos shows up and is trying to bring balance to the universe,
No.
As all things should be. No, that's not true. But the story is that apparently Thanos is a very popular baby name right now.
That's
After
insane.
Endgame, people are naming their children Thanos. Real quick, round the table. Just want to know, if you were to name your child after a famous MCU villain, who would you name your child after? I'll start first. Little baby Cletus.
And for as much as that makes sense, even Cletus is worse
Yeah.
than Carnage.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you name
gotta
your child
do the real
Carnage-
name, like Thanos is his name. He's Thanos. If you're gonna do Doctor Doom,
Mine would be, and I said
he's
this the other
Victor.
day, he would be, or she, because I'm going with a girl, because we're having a girl.
Okay.
I would go with Enchantress.
Enchantress, you did say that.
And that's not the worst name either.
And in your same wheelhouse, you could go with Hela, but that's not your favorite.
No.
What about you?
I don't know.
Let's hear it. Let's see. Alternate universe where little baby Jack does not show up.
Oh, honestly, I think it'd be Apocalypse.
Oh, wow. I like it.
That's actually kind of
I like it.
Could you imagine that kid getting in a fight like, bro, Apocalypse is coming. He said meet him by the playground at 3:00.
Apocalypse is clapping cheeks on the way home.
Apparently, he's got 4 horsemen with him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that works. Please don't name your babies Thanos unless it's like really deep.
I mean, I know Ronan is a common one right now.
That's got multiple meanings though.
Thanos is a little.
Nobody's
too
naming their
obvious.
kid Ronan after Ronan.
Yeah. No. Well.
Just after masterless samurais. Here's a fun fact about our new Namor actor, the Submariner, in the comics King of Atlantis. Apparently, the actor, when he was cast, didn't know how to swim.
Nope.
Nice.
I'm sorry. It's not funny.
Yeah, I'll be. That's like Tom Cruise being like, I've got a real fear of flying, but you know what? Let's go with this Top Gun business.
Yeah.
I got a deathly fear of spiders, but I'm filming Arachnophobia next month.
I mean,
it's not about a fear of swimming, though. It's just that he doesn't know how to swim.
He doesn't know how, and now he does. Apparently, Apparently, Marvel put some water wings on him, got him in the pool.
Oh my gosh!
Good for you,
the King of
buddy.
Atlantis, and he can't swim.
Which now Atlantis is being reimagined. I think we talked about this as an Aztec afterlife thing, which fits in perfectly. I love it. Separate Namor from Aquaman, even though he was there first. But let's do it. Speaking of folks that are in the MCU, that one making a debut, but another one is returning. Mr. Trevor Slattery. Does anybody remember that name? Trevor Slattery.
Slattery sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Didn't he have something to do with he was the guy?
He was the guy that did the thing.
Bald head.
Yeah. Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, yes.
He's in Iron Man.
Iron Man.
In Shang-Chi.
You'll never see me.
Yeah, that's him. He is returning, and he is going to be in the Wonder Man movie, which makes so much sense, right?
He's returning
Wonder
as that
Man
character?
being an MCU. Yeah, he's coming back as Trevor Slattery.
Gotcha.
That'll be interesting.
What the frick is his name now? I can't remember it.
Trevor Slattery.
No, he was
the actor?
The Mandarin.
Mandarin. That's what it was.
But he wasn't. He wasn't the Mandarin, but he was the Mandarin.
Trevor Slattery.
So he's coming back.
Said that, I knew who he was.
He's coming back as the actor.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Which he's great comedic relief. He does a good job.
But we've
such a serious actor.
We've had him in 2 movies at this point.
Yeah.
At least.
This is true.
Right?
Yeah, we've had him in 2 movies, and this will be his 3rd. So anybody been watching She-Hulk? No She-Hulk for you yet?
Body yada 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 yada.
Let's go! Did you like it?
A twerking She-Hulk. Love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, far.
So if this is your first time hearing about a twerking She-Hulk, I don't know how you found our show, and I don't know how you haven't seen this on the internet yet. Yeah. That's not a spoiler, but yes, a twerking She-Hulk.
It's probably my favorite Marvel series so far.
Let's go. I tried to tell people. I tried to tell them. Tried to warn them. Only one that listened was Megan, and now you.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, I thought I wouldn't putting it down because I am a Hulk fan.
Yeah.
So, and I knew I was going to get some Bruce Banner in there, and I did. But
and I don't think he's done.
No, I just think it's awesome. Like, the show, the way it's being carried out, I just love it.
I don't want to get too much into She-Hulk because we're going to have a big badass She-Hulk episode. We're going to get into it, and I love it. But the original plan for Abomination was different in Kevin Feige's mind. He was not going to have him in a Supermax prison. What they were going to do was put him in a giant steel vault and drop him down into the bottom of the ocean.
Damn.
I was like, how's he going to eat?
Abomination don't need to eat.
I was like, I also thought about that. I was like, that's a great idea, but how thick is the steel? Because at some point, Abomination's getting out.
Yeah.
He's going to have enough swings too. But anyway, I like it. I'm interested to see. I'm glad they didn't go the route of dropping the Abomination off into the ocean. For a little while, there was this whole thing of there was a short with Phil Coulson where he goes, if you don't screw up, I'll have you in Antarctica guarding Blonsky's cryo cell. So they had him in cryo freeze. Now he's in Gen Pop. Now he's in a Supermax prison. We'll see. I'm excited to see where he goes with that.
I liked it though. I love what they did with Abomination. Actually,
me too. I like it so far.
And how they explain him and Shang-Chi.
But as soon as they started explaining the law case, I'm like, oh my God, he's got a case.
Yep.
He really does. It makes so much sense when you hear him say it like that. Anyway, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, there was a cut end game scene or end credits scene. Apparently, there was originally supposed to be a scene where there is a character off screen watching on a closed circuit television the events that happened to the Illuminati.
Ooh.
And supposed to be watching that. And then at the end, a long stretchy hand comes in and rewinds it to watch it again. So it was Reed Richards from another time or another reality or another something watching the events to be prepared. And that's such a Reed Richards thing to do. Like, watch this.
But how would he be able to watch something in a different dimension?
Because
that's what Scarlet Witch was doing, wasn't it?
Well, she was dreamwalking, but so
magical.
So Reed Richards is one of those smart guys, right? So that little blue circle that he drops in from, that could be a time loop.
Yeah.
That could be something where he says, okay, I'm going to send a version of myself to go do that.
And
there
Kang
could be a
his ass wholesale.
Does Kang?
So I mean, he doesn't like. Nah, you're not going through time there, Mr. Reed Richards.
Well, if he's not changing things, then I don't think Kang would interfere with that. And not to mention, there's thousands of different Kangs in thousands of different realities at this point. So who knows which one's his? But I would have loved to have seen that, because then that lets me know that John Krasinski's not gone. But
live and let die, bro.
There's more to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with our buddy Taika Waititi has officially been kicked off of Thor 5. He will not be directing another Thor iteration.
Yes.
I think he's a great director. He's got wonderful vision in the way that he does stuff. I can't wait to see other movies, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm really happy that he's off of Thor currently.
Bye.
Yeah. Sorry, guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that stinks. Sorry about that, Taika.
He directed Free Guy, and we loved that movie.
Yeah. I mean, he's directed a lot of stuff.
He's got a time and place.
Like What We Do in the Shadows. That's one of my favorite little series, and he's an executive producer on it, and he's directed a couple of them.
He is, he's a time and place kind of director, and Thor is not the time and place for Mr. Taika Waititi.
And I'm sure we'll go back many, many years from now and go, Ragnarok, that was the time and place for that movie. I'm glad they put that spin on it, because that helped shape Thor in the future. But Love and Thunder, lots of things to talk about.
Crash and burn.
Yeah. Thunderbolts. I think we're going to get a lot of updates on Thunderbolts this weekend at D23. But one of the things that has come out is that the official confirmed leader of the team is Miss Yelena Belova from Black Widow and from Hawkeye.
She's so dope.
She is going to be the leader of the Thunderbolts, which makes perfect sense with her tactical strategy and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And two other confirmed members of the Thunderbolts are Baron Zemo and U.S. Agent.
See, that's what I was about to just say. I thought Baron Zemo was going to be the leader.
He should be. He originally is.
That's why.
And I have a feeling
is as big, at least in this series, as I don't know. I could be wrong.
And I think in this scenario, they are setting Yelena up to fail. Not the MCU. Madam Hydra and the people behind the scenes are setting up Yelena to be a fall guy. And putting somebody like Baron Zemo on her team, that's a problem. Because Zemo likes when the eyes aren't on him, and he would pull the strings from wherever he could. So I'm loving the way this movie's shaping up. I can't wait to see what they do with the Thunderbolts. The next one that they're talking about.
So it would have to have people that were none of them could be like mutants, right? Or not mutants, but are superheroes.
I mean, at this point, yeah, right. They're not all superheroes. So the only one in there that has superpowers so far that's confirmed, even though we think Abomination will be one of them, or Thunderbolt Ross, if they recast him as Red Hulk, will be one of them. I think it's.
As I was researching this the other day, they said that he was never one of them.
Who?
Neither one of them. Abomination or Ross.
Well, no, Ross is a Thunderbolt because it's Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. That's his namesake. It's his team. So that's why he was one of the main members.
As I was looking through, I did not see that, but
yeah,
I was surprised to see it because I didn't know that Winter Soldier was also a part of that crew too.
I think he would make an excellent addition to a Thunderbolts team. For sure.
Same.
Think about that from just a tactical perspective. You have Yelena, who's top tier Black Widow. You've got John, I can't remember his last name, as U.S. agent. You've got Baron Zemo, who was Sokovia Special Forces. Mm-hmm. This is a serious team.
Yeah.
You throw Abomination on there, who was another Royal Marine, a highly decorated militant mind. Dude, the Thunderbolts will be nothing to mess with.
Yeah, and now that he can control Abomination just like the Hulk, and he can be smart too. Oh,
yeah. I mean, we saw that. We saw that in Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
that he was in control. But yeah. So another one that's coming out, Werewolf by Night. That's the one that we expected to see in Moon Knight. Never happened. Go to our Instagram. Go check it out. There is a first peek of how Werewolf by Night is going to look.
Literally looks like Paul Walker.
It really does.
It's kind of like it's kind of disturbing how much the guy's face looks like Paul Walker's face.
I'll show it to our good buddy Ryan here. But yeah, it does look a little bit Paul Walker-esque.
A little?
Wow, yeah.
It looks like Paul Walker.
It's a cartoon, so it doesn't, but I could see why you would say that 100%. And one of the supporting characters in this show is going to be the Man-Thing. He's one that you look at and go, "Oh, it's Swamp Thing," and realize,
names.
No, it's not. This is
like a Kraken.
This looks like
Cthulhu
Marvel's answer.
Sort of
it looks like Marvel's answer to Swamp Thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because Swamp Thing has been around forever. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. I was agreeing with you, but
he's even got the red eyes.
He's got like a Cthulhu sort of Kraken.
For real, he
swampy guy look to him. He just looks cooler than Swamp Thing, in my opinion.
I just want to find his little abilities list.
But
Here
Man
we
Thing,
go.
That's the name they went with, Man Thing.
Notable alias, Vorgamus Koth. Don't know who you are. Partnerships, Howard the Duck. I'm in.
Perfect.
Abilities, superhuman strength, durability, and stamina. Isn't that just one of the marquee abilities for people that have abilities?
Otherwise, why are you even here?
Superhuman strength, durability, and stamina. Emphatic senses. That sounds like it could be useful. Chlorokinetic regeneration, which means he's made of plants, and the chlorophyll allows him to regenerate his body. Size alteration. Hey,
so he's Groot.
Know what I'm talking about?
Size alteration.
Corrosive chemical secretion. Oh, so he spits acid.
He spits acid and poison.
Here's a big one. Teleportation.
What?
Portal creation.
Okay.
Fear empowerment. So
Makes
what is that?
sense.
Like he makes you scared of him to where you listen to him?
Like a D&D
We'll go with
thing?
that.
Reality guardianship and plant manipulation. So Swamp Thing.
Except for that teleportation thing.
Yeah.
Making magic circles and going through them, if that is what that means, fine, sure, great, grand, wonderful. But actually teleporting from one place
yelling
to
on the
next,
bus.
Why? Everything else makes so much sense. Why can you teleport as a plant man?
Maybe he was Sorcerer Supreme at one point.
I think I have an idea.
Okay.
I think his consciousness, like the plants he's made up of, are just the body he's currently encompassing. Like he could swoop and jump out of another plant.
Okay, well,
we'll see.
That makes sense.
I'm interested to see Werewolf by Night. I'm definitely down to watch this.
Is this a Disney Plus thing?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Disney Plus is on fire lately.
Yeah, and I also heard that Adam Warlock is supposed to not make his debut in Guardians 3, but in the holiday special for Groot.
Okay.
The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. I'm in, boys.
I mean, why not?
And girls.
I mean, nobody would be expecting that, although no, we just announced it on the news, but nobody would be expecting that. If we're gonna
Except for you guys, because you listen to the Alter Ego podcast. That's right. Are these stories old? You betcha. Are they from last week? Absolutely. Are we talking about them now? Oh, yeah. But you're informed because you weren't before. And now you are. Speaking of things you're informed about, Loki Season 2 has been given the TV 14 rating.
Ooh.
That makes me think that you can't be 13 to watch it. You're probably going to see a little bit more violence out of Loki Season 2.
Mm-hmm. You can't be 13 to watch. I mean, you can.
And somebody that is a major entity in another comic book promotion has been hired to be in Loki Season 2.
Yes, I screen peeked. I'm sorry.
Like, literally...
if there was anywhere I wanted him to be, it's right there, too.
And like, of all the people, if you're sitting in D.C. and you find out they've cast this guy, you're like, damn it! Mr. Henry Cavill, your Superman has jumped the line.
Nice.
He's coming over to Marvel in an undisclosed role in Loki Season 2. And I have theories. I have a feeling. And this would be the ultimate slap in the face, and I kind of love it, and I'm kind of here for it.
It would be really kind of funny if you're right.
I want him to play Hyperion, which is Marvel's Superman.
I like it.
Henry Cavill already knows the role. He knows how do you fly faster, though? When you just clench your butt a little harder, and you'll fly a little faster.
You punch forward.
Yeah, punch forward. But
and clench your butt.
You imagine the first time he was learning how to fly? Left! What do you mean left? I'm flying!
I'm going straight.
Like, lean. What if? And he just starts doing it in a circle, just gyrating. Try squeezing your left butt cheek. Oh, that's doing it.
That's how you steer?
Yeah.
Butt muscles.
Yeah. Butt muscles. That makes the most sense.
He's twerking in the sky.
And I mean, sorry
yada,
to
yada,
be...
yada, 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 yada.
Stop it. But
hey, Hyperion.
But as someone who's noticed, sorry, my dear sweet love.
Oh, boy.
But in The Witcher, his butt is fantastic. So we all know that he has the butt muscles to fly just fine any way he wants.
For sure.
That's the case.
He's a good pooper. We know that.
It's one of the things I love about She-Hulk too. Her
CGI butt.
Crush. Oh no, her crush on Captain America.
Oh,
and his butt.
Yeah. Just the fact that he never.
Yeah.
Go watch She-Hulk, guys. Please, seriously, go watch She-Hulk.
It's even her lock screen on her phone.
It's good. It's so good. Anyway, okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about next week, D23 Expo. We expect to see a lot of things. I bet you all the holes that we saw in the MCU Phase 6 that we didn't get to see there, we're going to see at D23. And I think the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 footage that wasn't ready for Comic-Con conveniently was because it was supposed to be conveniently ready for D23. So I think we see that. I think we see all the holes filled up. I think we see X-Men casting. I think we even see projects that have trailers that we weren't ready for. I don't know. Quantumania, maybe? I mean, it's in February.
Could get wild.
At this point, they've got to have a trailer for it.
Oh, yeah. Sure they do.
I mean, there's so much stuff that you could see here. So, anyway, it's going to be interesting. But here are some of the...
Blade.
If we do, oh boy, what
Get
a crisp dollar
bill.
So we've got some actors that have been hired for the D23 Expo. Now, this is not mutually exclusive to Marvel. This is going to be Star Wars, all the properties that they own. And here are some of the people that are hired on to get. Obviously, Henry Cavill, we said that. He's one of them. Daisy Edgar Jones. I'm not too familiar with her, but she was in that most recent TV series with the guy who plays Bucky Barnes, whose name is Sebastian Stan. Jodie Comer. Don't know who that is, unfortunately. But those are the only two I don't know. Next one. John Bodega. We know who that is. He was Finn in the most recent Star Wars. He's done a lot of projects since then. He's got the most recent one coming out where he's a Vietnam or a war veteran who's threatening to bomb a bank, but he's also trying to expose some other stuff. That's a big name. Okay. Giancarlo Esposito.
Wow.
who we had rumored was going to play Professor X. He's one that they'd been talking about for a while. He was also kind of linked to Doctor Doom, but we'll see. We'll see.
We have Giancarlo
Esposito. Mr. John Krasinski is hired to be there.
It's because he's going to be
was it Smoke and Mirrors?
Forever.
Were they talking about other casting rumors just to try to blow this thing up? Are we going to get John?
Are we going to confirm this? Like, is it going to get confirmed at D23? Is this shit going to be for real, for real?
Are we going to get Emily Blunt, too?
Oh, my gosh.
I think we're going to have some fun with this one, guys.
But, like, do they confirm this shit at D23? This is where they come out on stage and they're like, I'm playing so-and-so.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Big announcements to happen this weekend for sure. Now, here's the one I didn't expect, but I'm really happy to see that he's there. Mr. Denzel Washington.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
So Denzel.
Could you imagine? What was it? Are you going to give the thing?
I am going to give my prediction of who I think he could be.
And it will blow my effing mind.
I would love to see Denzel Washington play Victor Von Doom.
Wow.
Right? Come on. You see it.
I could just
you
hear
don't?
the voice. Reed Richards ain't got shit on me.
Give the whole Pelican Bay speech? Yeah.
Yes.
Do it.
I mean, come on.
That would be an incredible twist in events.
Just like in, what's that movie, Deja Vu?
Oh,
when he's getting ready to kill somebody, brace yourselves. You're about to witness a murder.
He's so good.
He is. I mean, like, that's top tier acting chops showing up for D23. And I don't think it's going to be for something that's not massive, especially Denzel. Now, am I here for Jedi Denzel? Yeah, I am. Oh, I am. Mm-hmm. But who knows if we see that or not. It's all a mystery at this point.
But Doom? Come on. Denzel Doom?
I'm just saying, you look at big characters and big actors and who is big enough to garner an actor like that.
He's got to be somebody big. He has to be. He has to be. He has to be a role that we've all just been waiting for. Sorry. I was leaning back, imagining it. But really and truly.
Bro, there's a picture on here on IMDb where Denzel's got his head shaved and he's got a beard. And it looks like he's almost wearing like a Jedi joint.
Oh, boy. That looks like Book of Eli right there.
Either way.
I don't know, man. He's one of those actors that can do whatever he wants. It's going to work.
The tragedy of Macbeth is what the picture's from.
I don't know. I think it's going to be wild. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with us for episode 118. We are so happy to bring you the wonderful news. And we will see you next week for D23.
Get excited.
Get excited and get excited now. Keep an eye on the Instagram, Alter Ego Pod. Facebook, Alter Ego Podcast. Alter Ego Podcast do at gmail.com. If you want to reach out, reach out. All I know is it's been a pleasure. And we will see you next week.
Denzel just got so many bangers scrolling through his IMDb, bro.
He really does. Pelham 123 Denzel. I would love to see a Training Day version of Dr. Doom.
Right? That'd be kind of cool. I didn't know y'all like to get wet.
Got my money?
Oh, yeah. In that case, put Eva Mendes in there again.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, me too.